ask you a question? Have you participated in any interfaith dialogue?
I'm sorry?
Have you participated in any interfaith dialogues?
Yes, I have.
Oh,
Because
okay.
actually, from when I was in college, I lived in New York City, and you had all kinds of people around you. My families are immigrants, were immigrants as well. I wanted to understand people, so I
from your experience, did you see that the majority are terrorists and the majority are extremists, or did you see that the majority are normal people like any other?
Well, do you know what, to be honest with you, up until several years ago, I never saw the Muslim religion as violent, okay? But it's now that I'm seeing that there is a surge, or some type of surge of violence in some areas of your religion. And as I keep coming back to the same point, and I know I'm repeating myself, I'm not seeing the moderate Muslims stand up dramatically against it.
I'd like to say something. I'd like to say something.
Okay,
No one's accusing you folks, but the one question that's nagging me, and I'm sure it's nagging everyone else, American Muslims have been definitely quiet about the situation. Now, you can say you're not, but a lot of the extremists in this country coming right out of Ann Arbor, Michigan. Now, you know all about the Muslim community there. I don't hear anything coming out of there except negative accusations against Americans, against America. Right? And that's coming from the Muslim community. All I hear is how intolerant I am. I would like to see Imam Roof allow a Jewish couple or a gay couple go through his proposed mosque in New York. I would like to see that and see how tolerant he really is.
Well, I think I really need to say something because, I mean, you know, we came here, again, as Magda said, by invitation.
Absolutely.
We did not impose ourselves. And I see that the treatment that we are getting is really representative of the whole hype that is going around in the United States right now.
It's concern, it's fear, it's anger, it's disappointment. It's disappointment with some of you folks as well. Again, we're always the ones being accused, everyone here are accused of being racist or intolerant. All we're saying is, I don't hear an awful lot coming out of the Muslim community, right? I grew up with a Muslim, and one of my friends, when I was in grammar school, was a Muslim. He's from Egypt, as a matter of fact. Okay. Right? Great kid, he had a great family. There was never, to that woman's point earlier.
Have you thought about fear? Have you thought about people?
I'll tell you how I feel about fear.
Let me finish what I'm talking about, right? Let me respond to you, okay? When you are a minority in a country that has come up so violently against Muslims, regardless of where they come from and regardless of what beliefs. All the attempts to prevent Muslims from building their mosques anywhere in the country.
No, we're
We are getting almost to the Hitler's era.
Then answer the question.
But you're saying that, sir.
I am saying that.
Let him answer the question. I want to hear his answer. Please.
Quiet.
Be quiet.
What I'm saying is that you can look at the quiet in the majority essentially as a sign of fear because of the Islamophobia that is going around. When you...
Okay, I'm sorry.
Yeah, that's exactly what happens. You read the papers, you look at television, you look at the news, you look at the demonstrations, you look at the effigies that are being made, you look at all the graffiti that's being done. I mean, where would you expect us to go?
I haven't seen that.
I've seen it all. I didn't go to Jacksonville or I didn't go to Tennessee to see that. I saw all of this on television.
You saw it on television. How come you
Well, I mean, maybe I have a different channel. Maybe I should have a different channel. Have you heard today about the Jacksonville person that the preacher who's going to burn the Quran?
And that's
This man is a sick man. That's one.
Well, you can say that he is sick, but you are, in the meantime, you're accusing us of being...
To that point,
Well, you burn our flag every day. We're all about the world. But let's not you, per se, as Americans. But our flag is burned every day. This is the freedom of our Constitution.
No, you
Do I
don't.
like it? I don't like it. Do I agree with that?
The flag is not a holy book. The flag is
Oh,
not
so
a
we
cage.
should cut his throat like they did.
That is not the case.
Sir, what we're trying to say, in 5 Qaddafi, in Islam, when Islam conquered Spain, right in that spot, right over the church, mosque.
You're
When they
talking about a period where for 700 years.
But every single place.
Wait a minute. 700 years of Islamic and Arabic rule in Spain, where Jews, Christians, and Muslims flourished like any time ever in there. And why was that? Because of the tolerance that was there between people.
You're saying Americans aren't tolerant?
Absolutely not. Not all Americans. Not all Americans are.
And you want to build it right where butchers kill?
Not all.
Someone here would like to edit.
I'd like to say something. I see this discussion talking us versus them. You guys are forgetting one thing. We are just an American citizens as you are. The damage that happened in 9/11 have affected more, percentage-wise, more Muslims than the average population. My daughter, the husband of my second daughter, were in there. And if you look, 400 Muslims died in 9/11. This is in far greater proportion than their representation in the society. So it's not us versus you. We're just as American as anyone. And we suffer from the same consequences that the extremists do.
Yeah, but nobody's
Can I just
saying.
add another thing is that the fact stating that the Islam or the Muslims are what done the terrorist acts or did the 9/11 is a completely false and not true. Islam by definition does not support and does not motivate and does not reward any terrorist act. Anyone that kills innocent people, irrespective of how deep their belief or their reason is not allowed and is considered a violation of the basic principles of Islam. So I reject the fact that people state, you did that, you performed that, because Muslims did not do that. You cannot judge any religion by the worst of its kind. I cannot judge Christianity by the IRA and what they have done in Europe. And that separation has to come in your mind. Jihad is a word which was one of the questions that means struggle. It does not mean holy war. Holy war cannot be declared except by a state. An individual and an organization cannot start a war. A terrorist organization cannot start a war if you are a Muslim. And if somebody does that, then they are not following Muslims' religion and Muslim principle. If they happen to be Muslim, that is just too bad for them, but you cannot judge the whole religion and the whole 1.4 billion people because there are some stupidity and some terrorist act that no religion, including Islam, will ever support. I agree with you that the moderate Muslims should have taken and should take a stronger position. I don't speak on behalf of any other moderate Muslim. I'm speaking on behalf of myself. I myself, and I shared that with Jill and Dan when I first saw her, and I'll tell you the context of when I said that. I personally regret not taking a stronger action when I started seeing some movement of radical Islam in the wrong direction. I assumed they are on their own, they are doing their own thing, and it just got a little bit out of control. And this is my own, I'm not speaking on behalf of anybody.